Non-fulfillment does not exist. Hi, I am your host, Sky Cheyenne, and welcome back once again to Rebuild Reality, where as always, we talk about who we really are, why we're here, and how all of this stuff works. So, in manifestation, which is why we're here, we're trying to figure out how this stuff works, how we work, right? Well, we use a lot of techniques. We use a lot of processes, and heaven knows there are so many out there. There are so many opinions, and it just kind of, your head just kind of goes, like, well, this is where doubt comes in, right? Because we're constantly questioning things because we're like, did I do it right? Did I use the right one? Did I, you decide on one and then you listen to another video and you're like, oh, maybe I should be doing that one. You listen to another video and you're like, oh, wait, I better do that one, So we're confused about which is the right one, which is the best one. And did I do it the right way? Did I affirm long enough? Did I do it too long? Should I let it go? Should I hold on to it? So all of that really introduces doubt into this whole thing, and it kind of throws us off kilter. But we have to really remember that you are source. You are the creator. And a lot of explanations about that are like, oh, you are a drop in the ocean that holds all within it the same as the ocean, But no, that's just the perception. Like we've spoken about before with electrons, which are the kind of the powerhouse, the engine of all atoms that make up matter. Well, electrons, they appear to be everywhere, but they appear to be multiple ones in multiple places across, 47 billion years, light years away from here, that there are electrons that are exactly the same electron that is here right now. So they are appearing everywhere, but they're all one thing, which to me is the epitome of the creator, the epitome of God. When we're trying to understand that, that's what it is. And that's you. You think that you're all there. There's all these separate other people that are different from you, but they're not. They're all you, appearing as multiple versions, multiple perspectives of one thing, looking at it from here, looking at it from there, looking at it from over here. But when you put it all together, it is literally one thing, one life force, and that's you. So because of that, when you think of something, well, all of you has the same thought at the same time. When you want something, the creator in you knows it, already heard it when you thought of it the first time. We're the ones that want repetition, that want things to be repeated, that want long techniques, because we're trying to convince ourselves that it's real. But the creator in you needs nothing more than for you to be like, yep, I decided that I'm going to have that. That's it. Yep, I've decided, and I've taken off, I've looked at all these possibilities, and I'm going to take that one, I'm going to take it off the shelf, and I'm going to put it on as my reality, and that is the one I am doing. That's all the rest of you needs to know, that you're going that way, So, but we get stuck in that trying to prove our worth, trying to think, we keep thinking, in our minds, we're so wired that way, to think that we have to push and plead and beg and insist and somehow be worthy of something that we already are. It's like salmon swimming upstream. We're so used to that. I gotta push. I gotta, really try. I gotta put everything into this, It's like, it's already you. You don't have to struggle to be you. It's already done. So we keep trying to prove ourselves or communicate with something that we see that's other than us, that of course isn't at all. So that's still a belief in separation. And we've already proven that separation is not true. And like I said, if you look at just electrons, which make up all matter, Well, there's the whole story right there, appearing as everything, but all really in reality one thing, right? So yeah, instead of trying to freak ourselves out and stress ourselves out because we believe that there is something out there that we need to communicate with it to finally get this through to, and we do that because we're worried, we're afraid that if we don't, that there is the option that we're not going to get what we want. So we believe that there are two options on the table to begin with. And that's kind of where we get off on the wrong foot from the very start, is we think that there's a possibility of not only fulfillment, but of non-fulfillment. And there isn't. Because in reality, non doesn't exist, because by its very definition, it is not. It is non-existence, non-fulfillment. It is a no. It is a not. It's not actually a real thing. So how could it be a real option, Because the universe, creation, the rest of you always says yes. Whatever you say, this is hard. Yes. This is difficult. Yes. This is scary. Yes. This is easy. Yep. Absolutely. I'm already it. Yes, you are. I don't know if I can do this. Okay, that's it. You're this person who doesn't think that they can do it. So guess what? I guess you can't, So whatever it is, it's just the reflection. It will always say yes to what you believe, So any thought, any idea, any belief, any assumption that you may not get what you want in the first place, all of that belief that there is an option for you not to have what you want, all of that is man-made, because in reality there is only the yes. There is only an on, there is not an off. We see everything as divided here, and there is only one thing that is everything. So thinking that we might not get it, well, that's denying that you're already it, and you're it, taken, you're looking at, like, you can think of it as you're looking at this massive shelf with all the bits of you, all the stories, and so in this play, right, you are all of it. They're like all snapshots of you, but you can take one snapshot of you in that outfit and be like, I'm going to be that one right now. But you're all of it in every single outfit to begin with. So, we create these beliefs in lack, in non-fulfillment. But the only lack, the only non-fulfillment, the only no are the ones that we make up. So all rules, all complications, all difficulties, yeah, guess who's putting them there? Yep, us. So we're the only ones that make anything difficult, that make anything hard, that make us feel like we need to wait, that there is a process, that there is a waiting time, or any of that. Because in truth, because when we look up how matter is formed, it's happening faster than we can see it. So we're changing in every single moment. Everything about us is changing. But because we keep telling the same story, because we keep believing we're the same person and that things haven't changed yet, we keep putting the same imprint on, here's the next one. Oh, I'm going to stamp it with the same version of me. Oh, here's the next one. Oh, I'm going to stamp that with the same belief about myself. It's like there's constantly new ones, constantly. You can literally... That's the ability within each of us. You could literally, physically, completely change everything about you if you had that kind of belief in it, because this is what's happening. And every single second, in less than a second, we are changing completely, but we don't keep up with that, So we keep thinking that, nope, can't happen that fast. But yeah, actually, all of it can, every single bit of it. And what else is really difficult for people is because we've become so convinced, because there's so much of it out there, right? That there is a healing process, that we need to reprogram ourselves, that we need to do our inner child work, that we need to get over this, or we need to heal mentally, physically, or emotionally before we can change, before we're ready for that, before we can finally be the person that we want to be. We got to fix all this stuff. But the whole point of changing identities, of living in the end, is that you're not the same person again. That person with those problems, those issues, and that past is put back on the shelf. And you've taken another you. You're like, no, I'm going to take the part that actually isn't affected by the past, that doesn't have those problems, it doesn't have those issues, it doesn't have money problems or relationship problems, or or isn't sick, or whatever it is. You're taking the new version of yourself, because you're telling a completely new story of yourself, right? So you're leaving all the old problems behind. That's the whole point, which is why there shouldn't really be any waiting time. There shouldn't be any delay, right? Because there's nothing to fix if you don't put anything in the way, because that's what we do. We're putting all these roadblocks there all the time, right? So no roadblocks, no really having to wait for anything when we're actually doing it right. This is why in scripture, Paul said, I die daily. That means, just like Neville Goddard said, to put off the old man, which means you're taking off that person. You're waking up every single day. You have the opportunity to be a brand new version of yourself. This is also why Neville Goddard always spoke about revision. He spoke about that many times, about when you go to bed at night, rewrite your day. Rewrite it the way you wanted it to go. And that means that when you wake up the next morning, you're starting from that point, not the point that all this crud happened to you all day long. You're starting off in the morning with the best possible past, that you could think of. So that's why we're literally looking at becoming different people. And that's why I was speaking yesterday about people with multiple personalities and stuff, because they're literally on the spot becoming a different person, because we don't want to be the person who's accumulated all these issues, who's got all these problems going on, and that has to overcome anything. We don't want to have to go through that anymore the hard way. It's like, no, I got to process it all and stuff. It's like, no, just let it go. It's like, no, I think I will not do that no more. And we can do that, because the story that we tell ourselves about ourselves is the one that becomes our reality. So if we're telling that story, that this is difficult, that this is weird, that this is hard, or there must be more to it than that, or it's got to be harder than that, it's like, no. Because you're already changing in every moment, you can catch that bus as it goes by. There's another one, there's another one, there's another one, Where's your life going? We don't have to sit there and wait for, 5,000 buses to go by before we're finally like, okay, I'm ready to finally catch the bus to my destination. It's like, well, you could have done that a year ago, but we keep putting all these blocks and things there, because the truth is, you're the only reality. You're the only reality here at all. There's nothing else here but you. So everything else that we perceive, we're making up, really. Because we have control over all of it. So you choose a new version of yourself from this moment on. From right now, you take up that, and you're not in the process of changing. You're not in the process of healing or fixing or becoming. You are that new version of yourself now. Everything else is back on the shelf. Close the door to the closet, That new you is in the driver's seat, right here and now. We're not waiting for 3D to, appear differently. We're the ones that are differently. We're telling 3D. 3D is not telling us, right? So 3D fits around you. You don't fit around 3D, because the reality is all of this is your story. All of this is your projection. So all of it is you. In fact, if not for you, none of this would be here. You are literally the only one that's giving it life. It wouldn't exist without you. All the trees that you see, all the furniture in your home or your apartment or your car, wherever you're living, the phone in your hand, it's all you. It's all one thing. And when you realize that and you understand that you are source, you are creator, you are the creator, you are God. That means that phone that you're looking at right now, that computer screen, that's also God. That's also, because if everything is made out of the same thing, and when you look at quantum physics, it is. If everything is made out of exactly the same thing, that means that your perception, your physical body, everything you see around you, every cloud, every leaf, like I've said before, your brush, your hairbrush, or whatever it is, your freaking headphones, that's all made out of the same thing. God, you, every single bit of it. Yet we're worried about it. We're afraid of it. We're trying to be good enough for it. We're trying to, convince it. And when you kind of really, when like the penny drops, you're like, what am I doing? What am I doing? Why on earth did I ever worry about any of it? Why did I think that it was so hard? Why did I think that it was so impossible when it's me creating all of this to begin with? Because every single thing here is a projection of you in your mind. So don't be afraid of it. You created it. And this is what's happened, is that we've gotten into this scenario, this 360 degree virtual reality here. And we've plugged in our suit of senses that deals, our avatar that deals with this reality. And we've forgotten who we really are, that we're just in this suit, in this, pretend reality for entertainment purposes only. And that's it, because you're already everything. You're already enlightened. You're already enough. You're already the best that it gets. So enjoy it. Understand it. Don't be afraid of it. Know that you were meant to rule reality, not to ever, ever be ruled by it. And take your rightful place in all of this as the creator that you are. And there's a part of you probably wouldn't be here right now if you didn't know within you that that is true. So non-fulfillment doesn't exist, because no doesn't exist. Non doesn't exist. There is only fulfillment. There is only yes. There is only an on switch. There's not a nope, can't have it switch. So I am your host, Sky Cheyenne, and thank you for being here with me once again at Rebuild Reality. Thank you very much, and thank you to all the new subscribers out there. Thank you for subscribing, and if you haven't already, I hope that you will consider it. Thank you for your wonderful comments, of course, your great likes, yay, your shares and everything else, and thank you for being here with me on Rebuild Reality once again, and I'm going to see you next time, right here.